What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and welcome to another episode of Path to a Million podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about how to maximize owner's pay with the PPP and still have it forgiven. So, a lot of people have been wondering how are you supposed to pay yourself? How are you supposed to make sure that it gets forgiven? So first things first is for those of you that did not get owner's distribution or owner's pay or draw or however you pay yourself as an owner employee, if you did not get that approved, because a lot of the banks were confused on whether that should be included in the PPP money or not. If you did not get approved for you as the owner to get paid up to an annualized amount of $100,000. So over 8 weeks, that's $15,385. If you did not get counted as an employee of your business, they just put out a rule, I think last week, where you can go back and you can get a one-time loan increase for your pay. So if you did not do that, or if you didn't get approved the first time, if you were early on and they still weren't sure how this was going to shake out, you can go back and you can get approved for that, which is going to be really important because they've just extended, or they haven't just extended. They're going to 99% likely extend the amount of time that you have to use the money from 8 weeks to 16 weeks, which would allow you time to be able to spread that out over however much time would be left for you personally. So here's a couple. So that's first of all, make sure that if it didn't get included, that you go back to your bank and you get that added in. If it did get included, now what do you do? Now, my bank, I would suggest talking to the specific bank where you got your loan. My bank said that the best way to do it was just to run it through the W-2, like normal payroll. So yeah, I would end up on my W-2. That way it's just easy to run that report. You don't have to have any other documentation for you cut yourself a check, taxes get paid, all the things happen that are supposed to happen with payroll. So even though I pay myself a small salary through payroll and then I take out quarterly distributions, he said for this, any PPP money, run it through your payroll. So that's how I'm doing it. You may want to talk to your specific bank or potentially your accountant on what's going to be the best way for you to do it. So there are two numbers that you have to keep in mind. One is the $15,385. So if you make over $100,000, especially if you're way beyond $100,000 normally, and you qualified through the PPP approval process for the $100,000, you're going to want to basically give yourself $15,385, and that's it. You can't do any more. Even if there's money left over, you cannot give yourself, I guess you could give yourself the money, but you won't be able to get it forgiven. So the most you can get forgiven for each employee is $15,385, you included. All right. Now, if you, I use this example because it's easy. If you made less than $100,000 in 2019, basically the way that they're calculating sole proprietors, self-employed people, is you can take your 2019 profit, even if you haven't filed your taxes, you could fill out what they Schedule C. You could fill that out and you could show this is what I was going to make as profit for 2019. You can then take 8/52 of that for PPP money. So, for example, if you made $52,000 as profit in 2019, you basically made $1,000. I keep leaning on my iPad. I keep turning on Siri. If you made $52,000, it basically means you earned, or you made $1,000 a week. You would be able to pay yourself within this PPP time, whether it's 8 weeks or 16 weeks, doesn't matter. You'll be able to pay yourself $8,000. So even if you end up with money left over, and even though you only are supposed to get $8,000, you can't give yourself any bonuses, up to the $15,385. You'll only be able to get what the 8/52 of what you earned in 2019. So in 2019, if you earned over 100,000, you'll be able to get the 15,385. If you earned less than that, you'll only be able to get 850 seconds of the money that you earned in 2019. So how to get it forgiven is be sure that you keep those numbers. You either do one or the other. So a lot of people have been asking, can I bonus myself? Can I give myself hazard pay? Again, you cannot do that. If you got approved for your pay, you got approved based off of your 2019 income. So you're gonna be stuck with the money that you were supposed to get with the approved amount, or that 15,385, which is the cap for any individual person. Now you can give staff members that are not $100,000. So like I've got one associate that makes over $100,000. He gets 15,385 through this program. That's it. I can pay him more, but the amount that is forgiven is the 15,385. Now I have other staff members that are, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. I could give, if I wanted to, this extension to the 16 weeks, it kind of takes this off the table. But if they would have stuck to the 8 weeks, you could have potentially given bonuses out, maybe hazard pay, as a way to use up the money. Because if you're left with, $10,000, $15,000 at the end of it, you could basically take it as a loan if you wanted to. But if you also wanted to, you could utilize it to pay your staff some more money. So with the 16 weeks, I think that kind of eliminates that, because you're not going to get more money for the extent there. Like if you haven't watched the video, they're most likely going to extend the PPP time frame from 8 weeks to 16 weeks. That will give you plenty of time to just normally pay people, and you won't be left with any money. With the 8 weeks, a lot of people, I think, we're going to get stuck with, like, they don't have anything they can't spend all the money that they got. So that's how you as the owner can make sure that you maximize your money and get the loan forgiveness. But remember, the max you can do is either the 15,385 or the 850 seconds of what you earned in 2019. Can't do more than either one of them, depending on your situation. So hopefully that helps. If you have any comments, just drop them below, or any questions, drop them in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one.